Hi parents and caretakers. My name is Laura Wiley and I'm an instructional support teacher in Los Altos School District. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about your students' next reading unit, Reading for Life. This unit is really going to allow students to recarve their identities as readers. They will learn that when you read one text, it can spark larger ideas in you and really lead you to a topic or issues that you want to learn more about. Students will be reading books and articles, looking at video clips, news reports, short stories. Really, they're going to be thinking about how taking one book and developing the ideas around what happens in that book can lead to an avalanche of other reading to learn more and more about the topics. To start this unit off in the first bend, students will pick one fiction book that really speaks to them. Most likely one that they've already read, either a picture book or a short chapter book, or even a chapter book. And they'll use this powerful connection to the book to really leverage themselves into becoming experts and insiders on something they are passionate about, something that's represented in that book. This reading of a fiction book will then be transformed into reading nonfiction articles that further develop their thinking and ideas around the topic that came up in their fiction book. They'll really gather and read further and further more into these topics and ideas. They will then go into bend two, where they'll do the opposite. They will find and read a nonfiction article and think about how that article can spark ideas that lead them to want to read related fiction books, as well as other nonfiction as well. Really, we're allowing students to really take their own reading journey in both of these first two bends. In bend one and at the end of bend two, students will create little projects to really celebrate the work that they're doing and show off their reading journeys. In bend three, students will be really focused on doing some reading around the prompt that they picked in writing workshop. In writing workshop, they picked a prompt to respond to, and in reading, we're going to be doing some focused work on growing our ideas around the topics or the questions being asked in those prompts, because we know that in life there are times where we can write about whatever we want, and there are times when we are asked to write about something and have parameters around that. So bend three will really allow students to still take their own reading journey on a self-selected prompt, but kind of have a little bit more boundaries, if you will, of what they're researching and what they're reading. So ways that you can support your child or your student at home during this time is just going back to some of the books that you've read with them, looking back at some of those fiction books, help them pick out a book that they really love, and maybe it's one that they haven't read in a while, but as a child they really enjoyed. Reread that book. This unit really is about rereading books that we love to grow more ideas of how when we read those a second and third time, we notice things we didn't notice the first time. So really helping your child or your student figure out what book they want to start this unit off with. And then also students will be in one of the sessions, the Bend 2 final project, they'll be making their own little temporary maker space where we want them to think about what they have around them: scissors, tape, glue, construction paper, Legos, whatever it might be, and create a little project that represents their reading journey of Bend 2. being a partner with your reader and talking to them about what they're reading about and the connections that they are making is super important. We know that the more that students are able to talk about what they are reading, the deeper they're going to understand it. And especially because we're reading across multiple texts, really talking about those texts and how they fit together, almost like completing a puzzle, all the different pieces, and will really help students make those connections across multiple texts around their bigger topics. So I really look forward to teaching this unit alongside your student's teacher, and I can't wait to see the journeys, the reading journeys that these students take. Thanks so much.